Hi, and welcome to episode 26 of Legacy Gaming with Atari Man 71. Currently, I'm playing through my collection of Atari 2600 cartridges. I have around, I think it's 431 at this point. A lot of them are, a lot of the games are repeats, like the Sears games are repeats, and some of the lesser known publishers, they basically just rebranded games that were out there. But I'm going to try to play through all the unique games, which is around 350. I think I have around 3 more weeks to get through just the Atari published games. And then after that, I'll be moving on. I'll play some Sears for a day because they only have 3 games. Then I'll go into everyone's favorite, the Activision games, and then follow through. You know, there's CBS, there's Apollo, there's 20th Century Fox. There's quite a few publishers out there that put out a lot of games. So I'll play what I have. I have quite a few, you know, if you like and enjoy these kind of videos, please share my channel with others. Please like and subscribe on YouTube. I put the recordings out on YouTube. Please share my channel with other viewers on Twitch, and I welcome all. So with that, I'll get into my first game. So my first game tonight, or well, the 3 games tonight are Galaxian, Gravitar, and Quadrun. And Quadrun is actually a pretty rare game, so I don't know how many people have actually played a cartridge or have a cartridge, but we'll get into some information. Mine is obviously, it's due to the picture, it's in poor shape, but it still works. I mean, these things work pretty well. I just recently this weekend received a cartridge that didn't work, and it's the first time I've not gotten one to work after it, after I received it. A lot of times, they're dirty, you clean them and stuff like that. This one looked pristine. I mean, it looked brand new, like it was just out of the box, and it didn't work, unfortunately. So, fortunately, the seller, I bought it on eBay, but the seller had a duplicate copy, so they're going to just trade me, and they're going to take the old one back, and I'll send them this one back, and then they'll send me a new one. So hopefully it'll all work out in the end, because it's a somewhat rare game. So the first game tonight is Galaxian. Yeah. So I will put that in. Oh, by the way, if you see on my screen here, I've switched from my 6-switch light heavy sixer Atari 2600 to my Atari 2600 Junior. I just bought it, and I don't know what the deal is about the heavy sixer. A lot of people, oh, that's original, that's that. If you're really just looking to play the games, the Junior is the way to go. It takes up a lot less desk space for me. I'm able to leave it on my desk as opposed to the heavy sixer or the light sixer. I have to drag those in and out all the time. This one, I got a couple games in the mail today, and I was able to test them out right away to see if they worked. Didn't have to pull stuff out and, rehook it up and things like that. So it's the Junior, I think, is the way to go, or a 7800 if you're just looking to play your games, because the footprint is very small. I mean, it literally, I mean, the thing is tiny, in comparison, and so I'm able to leave it on my desk, and it doesn't get in the way, and when it does, I can just put something over it. But I don't know what the draw is of the heavy sixers. I mean, I guess they're original. They're the original equipment. But if you're looking to play the games, I'd recommend getting a Junior, just because it looks nicer. It's a more modern style, and it's smaller, and it works just as well. So you'll see that on my stream here. I will turn off the static. Let's see, static. Okay. And turn on the Junior. And there you go, Galaxian. So I will call up my information on Galaxian. So Galaxian is cartridge CX2684. It was released in 1983. The controller is the joystick, and I am using my Wiko command controller. All the games tonight are joystick. I was debating using the one with the micro switches in it, but I'm going to stick with the Wiko command controller. I'm pretty used to it at this point. So we didn't have Galaxian when I was a kid for the 2600. I mostly discovered this game playing it on the MAME emulator, and that was basically back in the 90s I discovered it. It was a popular arcade game, and it's well ported to the 2600. I think the graphics are a little weaker, but the gameplay is very similar. And I think it's a fun game to play. But in a lot of ways, it's similar to other outer space games. And I don't know, I didn't look it up. I didn't have time to look it up in relation to Galaga, but Galaga is very similar. And I had Galaga for the 7800, but that's a whole nother story because I didn't actually have a 7800. I had to take my cartridges over to my friend's house to play them. My parents promised they were going to get me one, but never were able to. But, you know, they tried. And, you know, I do appreciate that, and I appreciate everything that they did for me, and you know, the fact that I was the last kid to have an Atari, you know, didn't sit well with me as a kid. And I'm not bitter about it, but you know, I'm bringing it up now, so maybe I am a little bit. But you know, it was a case of you know, they promised to get it at Christmas time again, and it was just something they were not able to follow through with. It was close to the time my parents separated anyway, so I think that had something to do with it as well. But anyway, so it's similar to Space Invaders in that the aliens move left and right, but the only enemies that fire on you are the ones that are dive bombing. So as long as you avoid those, you can pretty much take out, it's like shooting fish in a barrel, so to speak, to take out the aliens, because they don't advance. The only ones that advance are the ones that are attacking, the kamikaze or the dive bombers. But they, you know, as the game goes on, they come in ever increasing waves. At first it's 1, then it's 2, then the 3 launch at you, and maybe it gets up to 4. I don't know. I've not gotten it that high. Basically since I've been playing again. So basically the gameplay consists of fighting back the alien invasions in multiple waves. If you clear a level, another wave of aliens arrives. And I think there's not an end to the game, but after 350 hours of consecutive play, I think the game has a kill screen. But I think no one has ever achieved it because, what is that? There's 100. So it's like, I don't know, it's like 13 or 14 days, maybe 15 days. I mean, it's ridiculous, the number of days. And maybe if you had people playing in shifts, you could hit that kill screen, but I'm not doing it. So VGR ratings for this game, the graphics are 3, which is reasonable, and playability is 3, worth playing. I think they only rated it 3 because there's a lot of other alien games that, you know, play similarly to this one and maybe look a little better. Okay, so here we see Galaxian again, a fancy artwork screen. It is actually pretty nice, a nice colorful screen. So I'm going to play game 1 because that's the easiest game to start with. There are 9 games. It progressively gets harder the further you go through it. It's basically the equivalent of the wave. So this is wave 1. If you start in game 2, it's wave 2, which is a little faster. Basically, it's an ability. It gives you the ability to practice whatever you're having difficulty with to progress through the game. At 7,000 points, we get a free life, so let's see if we can get it. I don't know that I got that high in practice, so I believe we just push the button to start. When you shoot them in flight, they're double the points. Oh, thought I could get him and I didn't. Getting pretty arrogant. Oh man, I'm gonna have to reset this game. Now if you clear off a side, Oh, not paying attention. So I'm gonna start all over because I'm not really paying attention when I'm talking. Okay, I'm gonna reset this. That was to die on the first guy. I'm taking risks that I don't need to be taking. So yeah, when the dive bombers get to the bottom or to the side of the screen, ugh. When they do that, I did not see that bomb. When they do that, they reset and go to their position, but sometimes they'll go to a different position. Oof. Tried to squeeze in between them. Alright. I'm going to play this for a while. I actually, even though I'm not very good at any games. I'm good at owning them, I'm not really the best at playing them. Oh, I tried to... Yeah, so there it went off the side. Oof. Is that it? Now in practice, I was regularly clearing this screen, but I was playing it on a bigger screen. I'm in the, and I had a different strategy back then too, which I'm going to employ now. See, if you get the outside ones, or if you leave the outside ones in position, you can control where they're dive bombing from. Now you see now that I've mostly cleared this level. Ah! It's pretty easy, so that counted as a kill, I suppose. The fact that they can't shoot you unless they're dive bombing makes it so you have to only be concerned about certain areas of the screen. You know, and then you can have safe zones where, like here, I can come over here and I know that he's not. Ugh. Snuck through on that one. But see, now I know I can go over here and I won't get shot. And I just have to watch for the ship that's attacking. And the bombs that they're dropping. That was lucky. Oh, come on. I destroyed him. Oh, I thought I killed him. I killed the guy in the line. Like I said, this game is addicting. It's pretty fun. Ooh, that was lucky. I was about to reset again. Should be worth more points the closer they are to you. Oh, I wasn't even paying attention. I was trying to get that guy on top. Now here, there's a bonus for attacking a ship that is on the top row. When it's in attack. So now I'm going to get two of them attacking. But like I said, if I stay over here on this side, I have to worry a lot less about. But you see it as soon as you shoot one of them, another attacker shows up. Oh, I knew that was going to happen. Come on. I tried to squeeze in between them. Let's see. That's probably pretty much all we have for Galaxian tonight. It's a pretty fun game. It's definitely on my list of games. If you're starting a collection, if you don't have it, get it. It's not that expensive, and it's pretty fun. You know, you can play it for extended period of time and not really have too many problems. Whoop! Sorry. Dropped my cartridge. That's the first time. So, the next game on my list today is Gravitar. So I'll put that in. And you see how that looks. I will go over my information for Gravitar now. So, Gravitar is cartridge CX2685, and it was released in 1983. It uses a joystick controller. Gravitar is also a game that we did not have in my childhood. I started playing it when I started collecting Atari again in the early 2000s. Originally, this game was only available for mail-in for Atari Club members and then later went on to sell a limited quantity to the public with the silver label. You see mine has the red label. So they later released the red label design, and that's the common one that you can find now. But if you find a silver label, you know that's kind of a rare one. May cost you a little more money. Let's see. So I'm just letting you know, this is in my notes, I'm just letting you know I'm terrible at this game. It's actually a difficult game, but it's decent to play. Basically this game is almost a marriage between like an asteroids or a space war and combat, or something along those lines. Atlantis, something like that. Maybe not Atlantis, but combat is, or missile command. It's really an interesting game. So in this game, there's this enemy called Gravitar, and he's taken over 4 solar systems, or three solar systems, 4 planets in each solar system, and next solar system he's after is ours, and your purpose is to basically destroy him in these other 4 solar systems so that he can't attack our solar system. And the thing is, he uses gravity as a weapon, so the game is always pulling you in a different direction, and you have to thrust your ship. Your ship is like the Space War or asteroid spaceship, and you have to thrust it away from impact. It's interesting because it's not like asteroids where you can shoot straight across. It's more like Space War. In Space War there was a like a black hole thing where it spun you around and wrapped you around. The suns do that in this game, and every base that you attack on the various planets does the same thing. There's weird gravity, and then you crash constantly. The other thing is, even though there's a version of this game where you have 100 lives, which is the one I'm going to play because I'm terrible at it, if you run out of fuel, the game's over, no matter how many lives you have left. So you gain fuel when you go to the planets. There's these cubes, these blocks that you pick up, and you have a tractor beam, which is the correct way to pick it up, or you can crash into it, which is what I do because I have 100 ships. But I've successfully done a couple tractor beams, but it's not the easiest because you're thrusting and shooting off in all these directions, and even when you pick a stable flight path, it actually curves you again. I mean, it just drags you into the enemy forts. It is designed to make you crash. But it is difficult, but it is a playable game, and it actually is challenging, and that's the thing I liked about it. I've cleared the first solar system a couple times now, but the second solar system, the bases are 1,000 times more difficult. I'm interested. I'm actually going to play this a little bit to see if I can get to the 3rd and 4th solar systems to see how difficult they are, because there are some tight passageways, and you have to have expert control to navigate your ship through these passageways, I think, even if you have 100 ships. VGR ratings for this game: the graphics were 3, which is reasonable, and the playability is 3, worth playing. Okay, so here we have the game selections screen, and so I lied, I'm not going to play the 100 ships game because we found out there was a game for children or beginners that is game 5, so let's hit the select. So this one has no gravity, so I'll start out with this a little bit and see how it goes. Fighting the gravity is pretty much the hardest thing. Maybe I'll start, you know what, I'll start on game 4, and then if time permits, whoops, we'll go to game 5. Okay, so to start the game, you push the button on your joystick, and there we go. So you see it's pulling me right away, and there's going to be... So here's the UFO I got to fight right away. So the real trick of the game is to use as little... as little thrust as you possibly can, but Okay, so here we are at our first bunker. And so, because I'm not trying to not use too much fuel, I'm going to crash ships here. Because ships are a dime a dozen, really. Oh, I just shot too late. So yeah, you can kamikaze him too. That's I pulled back, and when you pull back, that's shields and so I'm gonna crash into the fuel now. I got the fuel. Oh, just barely scraped it. So here's another thing. You know, you can use it. This game could be rebranded SpaceX because you're landing, basically. If I'd have crashed into that fuel at the same time. So there's still a rammer. And it's worth it to get the fuel. I mean, so I got it. So now I leave and the planet disappears from the screen. So now I'm going to go down here to Saturn, but you have to thrust to it the whole time. You know, it's real easy to get distracted. When, in truth of the matter is, I think it uses a lot less fuel. To just do this, like, little coast method. Shooting too early. And maybe if I was halfway good. But see, that's the thing about this rammer, is it really is in the game to distract you. Got it. So now I can just... Oh, there's fuel down here. Oh, no! I missed the fuel. No, that's the sun. Yeah, if you hit the sun, you die. Ugh. It's just so easy for him to kill me. And you can't escape once you get into this screen. You're here. This one is tough. So like I said, I sacrifice ships. In the interest of conserving fuel. And I'm sure there's people that are good at this game, but it is actually pretty hard, and it's because of the fuel. If you miss the fuel, like I missed the fuel on that last planet, you find yourself, oh. Oh, just short. I knew that was gonna mess up. There we go. So now I got some extra fuel. Nope. Oof. So there, I'm just conserving fuel again. Just to get that fuel so I can leave the planet. So now, woo! Now this one is interesting. I almost did it the right way. So there you see I picked it up with the... Ugh. Got lucky there. Ooh! If you get going too fast sometimes, it's... So I got my fuel. Oh, and wasted a life. Ooh. Never seen that before. I've never tried to go around this way. So now we're at the next solar system. There's nothing dramatic. And this one, I've only been to that figure 8 planet. Thought I was going to get to it again. Ooh. Yeah, you see what I'm saying about how it gets more difficult. Well, at least there's fuel there. Oh. Man! Ah! I can't imagine the twitch reflexes required to be good at this game. Oh, and the other thing, you can't escape a planet once you're on it. Or a base, whatever you want to call this. Maybe I can get a second one here. Maybe. You're like threading a needle. And how you can do this without using fuel. See, that's the thing I'm most afraid of, is using too much fuel. And I probably just need to say, the hell with it. I think I'm going to call it quits. So that's Gravitar. It's actually a lot of fun because it is so difficult. It's not so difficult that the game is not fun. You know, that first level, that's pretty easy actually. You know, I figured that out relatively quickly. If we play it without gravity, it might be a little easier. There's maybe a little time. I'm going to put it back on. I'll go to game 5. Just those bases doing all that shooting noise. Ugh. Alright, so I need to clean the contacts on these switches. Okay, so game 5 is no gravity, same game. Let's see. So there I'm starting out. Well, I'm going to try doing this base. Ooh, you only got a minute. Alright, I'm not going to try that again. Let's just go to the bases. Why'd they stop firing? Ugh. Oh. Getting caught in a crossfire here. Remember, I only got 25 lives here. Can't waste them on these. Ugh. Crashing. I'm just terrible. You get so used to fighting the gravity all the time, then when you don't. Okay. Ugh. I'm just gonna leave. So that's that planet. No! I think think I wasted about 20 of my 25 lives. No. Jeez. I'll admit it, I got lazy. Okay, I was gonna say, totally hit that. Missed that fuel depot. So I wouldn't necessarily say it's easier. I just would say it's different. Maybe you can figure out what paths to take, but the gravity actually helps you in a lot of ways. When you know fuel for a ship, I don't know. I don't know if that's a fair trade-off. Now that's crazy. It moved me sideways right away. Oh, thought I was just gonna skim the top of that. Forgive my horrible play, please. Like I said, I've never claimed to be an expert. So at least I destroyed him. I got 3 ships left. See if we can get out of this solar system. Well, that's a bunch of crap. Now this one I probably cannot hit. What's the deal, dude? Just constantly up me. So there's some fuel down there. Last life, or maybe second to last life. Got some fuel. Come on. I'm terrible. I'm better with the gravity, but I had 100 lives, so that maybe had something to do with it. Oh, this picture's... maybe my RCA out on my junior is a little wonky, because that picture there is getting a little staticky. So that's Gravitar. The last game I have to play for tonight is Quadrun, and this is my cartridge. You see it's in terrible condition. Terrible condition. Okay, so I will read my information about Quadrun. So Quadrun was game CX2686. It was released in 1983. The controller it uses is the joystick, and the game was originally an Atari Club members only mail-in game as well. It basically was test marketed. I think there was only 100,000 copies, or maybe 10,000. It was something really kind of crazy. 10,000, yeah. It's reported that there were only 10,000 copies of this game produced. I only recently acquired mine, and you see what kind of shape it is in. I know before this recording, I checked on eBay to see how much they were going for, and there's a new mint in box going for $3,000. I did not pay that. I don't think I even paid $150 for it. It's in bad shape though, so that's part of the reason it was so cheap. But I wanted the game and I wanted to play it. It's actually a very hard game. So in this test marketing, I guess it failed. They test marketed amongst girls, and this is from what I've read, it was test marketed to girls, and it failed miserably, and then they didn't put it in full production. I will tell you this, it's a difficult game to play. There's a lot going on. You basically have 3 lives. They call it 3 balls, but you throw it and then you have to catch it. So you use it to shoot the enemies, and then you have to catch it on the other side of the screen. And some of the enemies, the first round of enemies just are really predictable, but you know, the higher up ones, they zigzag, they go up and go down, and then you have to rescue these, I think they're called runts or something like that. It's really a weird game. There's a lot going on in it, and I did not do well in practice, so I didn't leave myself a ton of time to play it tonight. We'll see how it goes. Okay, so here we see the game, and I'm going to start out this game. I don't know if there's nothing to select. There's only one variable. Like I said, this was not, I don't think this was a full game. I think this was, like I said, it was Atari Club members only, and it was a test marketing thing, and it failed because I think it's pretty hard. It's an interesting game. It can be fun, but I think you have to spend a lot of time playing it, and you have to be in the right mood to play it. Maybe I'm not in that mood right now. So to start the game, you just push the button. Oh, that's the other thing. It has the voice. This is the only game that uses voice in Atari. So I don't know if you heard it there, but it said Quadrun, Quadrun, Quadrun. So first, if you're on the top and you push down, you jump to the bottom, and vice versa. So you're in the bottom, you push up, you jump to the top. So to shoot at these X's, these flipping X's, I'm not going to do it here, I'm just going to show you. You have to push the ball, and then you push up and catch it. If you don't, you lose a life. Now, there's no counter on here. Oh. And I think if you take too long, because it's been doing that to me, you know, when I've been practicing here, you know, you don't have a lot of time to do this. If you take too long, see, I lost the ball there. So now I know what's going to come here. I lost it again. You have to move over. See, that's the thing you got to remember. So I'm going to go to the bottom. Up, over. And I dropped it, so I died. Or maybe I took too long, because see, I'm holding the ball there. So that's the other thing I'll show you. To switch between left and right and up and down, you have to run into a wall. So if I hit the wall here, it puts me on the side, and then you put left and right to jump between. And that puts me on bottom. That puts me there. So you can go around the whole screen. It's going to kill me here. Okay, so there are 2 little blips on the screen there to represent the number of balls I have left. You cannot throw with. Your ball goes at the same speed as the flippers. So there, I just died. I just died. I hadn't done anything.
Quadrun.
I was just explaining stuff, but if you take too long, it just kills you. I don't know. Okay, so this one's coming from the bottom, so now it's coming from the top. So I'll get over here. And then I caught it. So it's coming from the top. I'll get over here. Caught it. Get over here. Caught it. Get over here. Oop, missed it.
Quadrun.
So there I cleared that first phase. So now we're going to snags. Snags are harder. So you see they're opening and closing. And I died for some reason. I didn't push a button, but I died. I'm dead. And there's no explanation. I don't because I let it get by. I don't know. This is the thing. I think if you play this game for hours,
Quadrun.
you may have a lot of fun with it. But you know, to pick it up with the instructions that they provide. Yeah, if you miss, oh no, see, I just lost a life there. They steal your ball. If you miss, you still got to come and catch it. Miss the ball.
Quadrun.
So let's see. So this first level is supposed to be pretty easy. Oop. Oh, I missed it. Missed it again. Oh, and I bumped him. That's the other thing. They kill you.
Quadrun.
Ugh, missed it again. So that's Quadrun. I don't know that it's worth the price of the game. Play the ROM. Put it on a Uno cart or a what's the other one that I have? I don't know. You know, one of those programmable cartridges. It's it's fun to play it on the original hardware. You know, it might be a little easier on a computer, but especially on an emulator where you can pause it and do stuff and get to the end. You know, it's challenging on these. But I wouldn't spend the money. I don't know if I'll ever buy a better label for this game. I mean, who knows? Who knows what I'll do? But you know, this game, it's worth a lot because it's rare. It's not worth a lot because it's a good game to play. There's better games to play. I mean, Galaxian was a lot more fun than this game, and he rated Galaxian as worth playing. And maybe, I don't know, maybe if you get good at this, you know, the challenge makes it difficult. You know, if you're, I'm nearly 50, and so, you know, I don't have the reflexes that, you know, a 12 or 13-year-old kid does, and so maybe they, you know, can flip and do stuff like that, and, you know, maybe in time, if I played a lot, I could. Maybe, you know, in my 20s, I definitely had, you know, better twitch muscle reflex. But you know, with everything I've been through at this point in my life, I'm just glad I'm able to play the games at all. So this is Quadrun. I hope you enjoyed it. I'm probably not going to play it on our stream ever again. So that's all I have for tonight. As always, stay healthy, stay safe, wash your hands and social distance. If you like videos like this or like this content, please like my videos on YouTube. Please follow me on Twitter and Twitch. Please follow me on YouTube too. Subscribe to my channel and give it a thumbs up. And leave a comment if you leave a comment if you see anything that interests you or something you want me to play in a little more in depth. All right, have a good evening. Thank you.